Hi, welcome to Ultrasonics. Thanks for your purchase of one of our agitating units. We've got two on display today. This is our 4230 LT, which are the dimensions, 42 by 30. We've also got a smaller unit, which is 36 by 24. We also have bigger units and lots of custom units that incorporate our agitating lift table with the same sort of directions and the same sort of installation. Today we're going to walk you through the owner's manual. Keep in mind, if you have questions, always give us a call. Let's start with the safety requirements here. Never work on a machine that isn't locked out, power disconnected and locked out, and also the air is turned off and locked out. Never put our hands or any body parts in the operational cavity here. We're using hot water in all of our systems. Ultrasound works better with hot water. So be careful as you're pulling parts out, moving baskets, or when you clean the tanks out. Always read your MSDS sheet for the soap that you're using. And if you're not using a ultrasonic soap, make sure you get that pre-approved with us beforehand so we can review the MSDS sheet, give you suggestions, and also make sure that it's compatible with our machines. Always make sure the equipment is grounded and installed properly. Never open up any of the equipment other than the control panel without giving us a call first. Again, this is an automatic lift table. We need to have that lit up during all times that we're using it. Always use baskets or use your table. Don't ever put anything down on the bottom of the tank. Okay, now that your machine has arrived, you've uncrated it. It's time to get the electrical hooked up on it. First thing we do is check your power in your facility. This is a three-phase system. The yellow-green stripe wire is always your ground wire. The other three wires are your hot wires. If in your facility you don't have a three-phase Y setup, which means that all three legs are equal, give us a call. If you happen to have a high leg, a delta system, an older system, and one of your legs in your facility is high, give us a call. We'll tell you which one of these three hot wires to connect to that high leg. This can be wired into a hardwire disconnect box or put on a plug of your choice depending on your facility. The 4230, the larger unit, requires, again, 208 volts to 240, three-phase, 40 amp service. The smaller 3624 LT requires 208 to 240 volts AC with a 30 amp service. These can be engineered single phase if that's all you have in your facility. Let us know. The only difference will be is now you'll have two wires with, again, a yellow-green stripe. All of our lift table systems use air agitation. We require 0.5 MPa, which is 72 pounds per square inch. Really nice setup here with a water removal canister to begin with, and then also an oil lube canister for all of our moving parts inside. Once we have the power and the air set up properly, let's go ahead and fill the tank now. We're going to use regular tap water. You can use deionized water or reverse osmosis, whatever you have in your facility. Let's make sure that the drain valves are closed, both for the main tank and the overflow tank. When we get 3/4 of the main tank full, we're going to shut off the water and add our soap. Normally we use 2 5-gallon buckets of soap in the 4230 and 1 in the 3624. Check with your representative to make sure that's the right concentration. Once we put the soap in, we're going to continue filling with the hose until in our overflow tank, the water level is 3 inches lower than the weir. In most cases, the surface action here, the surface skimming here, along with the use of an oil-only absorbent sock here, does a great job of removing all the oils. But if you're getting overloaded, let us know. We have a bolt-on oil skimmer that goes right here. The other part of your filtration system is the filter canisters and also an indicator gauge here. When the filters are running, Your indicator gauge here will be about halfway. When it starts to approach the end of the gauge, it's time to change the filters. We're getting clogged up. Your machine comes pre-packaged with one of each filter in it, a 125 micron and a 50 micron. You can see with arrow indicators on top of the canisters that the water is flowing this way. So we start with the biggest filter, move our way to the smallest, and then into the tank through the spray bar. Now that we have water in the system, we have the proper power hooked up, we have air hooked up, go ahead and hit the power on button. Screen, go ahead and touch our welcome screen. Let's go into parameters. We want to make sure that user 1 is highlighted, and we want to enter the password, which is 111, 4 ones, enter. Now we're able to open this up, set the parameters for both agitation, ultrasound, and filtration. You can see here, standard, it's going to come with agitation time of 30 seconds, ultrasonic time of 5 minutes, filtration time of 5 seconds. If I wanted to change the ultrasonic time, I just hit that. Let's change it to 9 minutes. Hit enter. Now my cycle is 30 seconds agitation, 9 minutes ultrasound, and 5 seconds filtration. Another great feature we have here is our warm-up time. This is a 7-day programmable timer so that your machine is hot when you're ready to work. Typically, these large units take about 2 hours to get up to operating temperature, which is typically 160 degrees. So if typically my Monday morning starts at 8 o'clock, I can go ahead and hit the start time for 6, enter it. This is all in military time, so if I go home at 5 o'clock, I can program it to shut off at 1700. If I have Monday, it's going to come on at 6 in the morning. It's going to shut off at 5 p.m. or 1700 hours. Do that for the rest of the week. This is just for your heat. This is our date and time setup for now. We've set this for 8/32, the first week of June, June 2nd, 2020. When we're all done with the parameters, we just simply go back to the home screen. You can see our parameters show up here. We're going to agitate, ultrasound, filter. Now, we need to make sure that these are set in the on position, normally open. The ultrasound is on, the heater is on. This has, again, an optional oil skimmer down the road. If we wanted to use it, then that would be on as well. Now we're ready to start the process. Now we can go into the auto, hit our cleaning on, and we're going to run through the process. You can see it, it's going to agitate. You can see it's agitating for 30 seconds. Then it'll stop and ultrasound for 9 minutes. Then it'll stop and it'll filter, which skims off the top layer of the water, as well as cleaning out any particles in the water for 5 seconds. All these are adjustable just by going into your parameter box. If I need to stop this at any time, you can see ultrasound's on now. It's been 30 seconds. If we need to stop at any time, we just hit the cleaning off button. The lift table will return to the top position, and we can start a new cycle or pull parts out or whatever we need to do. So now we have auto set up with our parameters. Each and every time we're going to run these exact parameters that you've set up in the auto mode, which we want to go into manual because I might want to lift that table up. I might want it to go down. I might want to filter a little extra. I might want to ultrasound in a manual position. And you can see here our heater is already on in the manual position because it hasn't achieved its set point yet. So while I'm in the manual position, I can go ahead and turn the cleaning on. Now I've activated manual. If I want to take the lift table down, I can do it. If I want to take it back up, I can do it. If I want ultrasound on for extra time, I can do that. The filtration will only work in a down position with the lift table. So let's take our lift table down. And we can turn on the filtration in a manual mode for a few minutes if we want, just to clean up the water. Now you can hear the pumps activated, the surface is skimming. It helps clean that up, periodically. So during our filtration process, we had low water in one of our tanks. So the alarm, everything turns off. We have the alarm indicator here for us. Let's see what the alarm is all about. It says we have water level is low in tank number 2. In order to get rid of this indicator and buzzer, we need to go to our tank number 2, fill it up to the proper level. The alarm and the buzzer will go off. Then we would come back and reset the alarm. So to wrap everything up, make sure you read your operational manual. If you have any questions, give us a call. Let's talk just briefly about maintenance. Again, we have filtration on here. The pressure gauge will give you an indication of when you need to change those filters. Follow the procedure in operational manuals to do that properly. Also, your cleaning solution needs to be changed on a periodic basis. Give us a call for advice on time on that. Can't emphasize enough safety. We never put body parts in or around the main tank while it's in operation. We always keep the lid open during our working hours during operation. At night, make sure we close the lid so that we can serve heat for the next day. We thank you for choosing Ultrasonics. We're here for you. Give us a call if you need us.